Yeah, do you guys have any favorite memories of the old Orange Bowl before we get into this year's game?
Uh,
Man,
yeah,
Any that
I
you
have
can share?
I'll tell you. I got two or three that I'll share. I remember. I think it was Vanover taking the opening kickoff back in '92, I believe it was. Right. That was just that place just exploded. I remember. I'll say this. I think it was '90. We were there. Maybe. This is yeah. Even years we were there. So in '90. No, no, no. Let me back up. Back up. We were playing in the we played in the Orange Bowl against Nebraska in '92, the year before the national championship. Right. I remember we're in the home locker room, and I reach up over in the coach's locker room on the top of the locker, and I pull out a defensive tip sheet for a Hurricane game from earlier in the year, and it had all their calls and all their stuff on it, all their keys. If they're lined up here, we're going to run this stunt. If we line up, the nose guard shades this way, we're going to run this stunt. I mean, it had the names of their call. I mean, it was gold, Jerry. It was gold. And I remember me and Brad and just breaking it down and going into that '93 year, we had a bead on everything. If three technique moved to a four technique, from outside shade of the guard to inside shade of the tackle, that meant this. And I mean, we had all kinds of keys, and we drilled that into our guys, and it really paid dividends. So I can tell that now. I think the statute of limitations is over on that,
Hey,
right?
hey, Mark, did you ever think for a minute that they might have planted that there?
No, not for a minute. Not for a minute. Don't worry. Hey, we did the whole trust but verify thing, right? I mean,
Yeah.
we made sure all that stuff held up. I promise you.
Kez, what are your some of favorite memories of the Orange Bowl?
it's really just being a part of it, players, playing and players that you heard about and going against and all this. Kind of like, just it's kind of like you hear about Jesse Armstead and you got to go out there and block them, and then you Darren Smith and then Michael Barrow too, and all those guys that were in the middle right there too as well. And funny now, me and a lot of those guys we're friends, and we get to talk about those days too as well. But back then it was just such a rivalry, man. I was just my insides were boiling just to play the game, man. Just the excitement of it. And I just couldn't, it was one of the most exciting times of my life to where, of playing football that moment. Even past professional, because that game was such a rivalry, so emotional. Because the guys before me on the team had built that thing up so big. It's the Miami game. I watched it on TV, right? I watched the year before I came out to Florida State. I watched the Florida State game when Dexter Carter put the flag on top of the head. I watched all that right now, and now to be a part of it, right? And now I'm walking in this dream world, all right, of college football right here into the very rivalry of in the most wonderful rivalry in the country, and you're in it now, and you're in it, and so it's like that's what it was like to me. The first year was just like I was just like in dream zombie land, and just out there playing, and then as you keep moving through it, man, you kind of get a little bit more confident. But that's one of the best experiences in football, period, that I've had is that game.
It was. I remember Jerome Brown, right? Going up against Jerome Brown. I remember Jesse Hester on 38 Z reverse option to win the game 38-3 in '84. Yeah, there's some really good memories playing in that place, and it's like you said, Jerry, a house of horrors. Just intensity, you can cut it with a knife in that place.